is about 10:45, and I'm doing some morning to early afternoon crafting while the sun is coming into my kitchen and it's warm, and I don't have to put up my wind barrier again before it starts getting super, super, super cold again here. And it has been about 26 to 27 here for most of the morning. It was very nice yesterday. We got a brief reprieve from the winter weather, but it has since returned full force. It looks like this is just going to be our winter pattern this year. I hate to break it to everybody, but this seems to be what we're going to be doing for the winter. Yay. And I wanted to come on while I had time and while I was able to be here and let you all see what I'm doing. My plants are trying to get some sunlight. I've got their growing station to put up here when I get all this craft stuff moved out. You would not believe how much craft stuff I have gone through in the last week and a half to 2 weeks. It's just kind of what was mounds is now just and it's going to have to be cleaned up. But I am so amazed that I've gone through. Oh, I'll make a snowman spindle if I wanted to. I don't want to spray paint. It's too cold to spray paint. It's too windy. But I have been just crafting and crafting on. If I've had to be up and watch the stoves, I've just been to the stove and here watching the stove and crafting and keeping warm. Priority has been sleep and resting and keeping warm. That's what I've been doing. So if y'all have missed me, I apologize. I know when the winter hits and my health, I was supposed to go at 12:45 for blood work, repeat blood work, and to check my eyes and stuff today for my thyroid. And I called and said, no, I'm not getting out in this wind. No, Dad was going to pick up Oscar. I was like, don't get out in this wind. It's too nasty. Just stay home. You can get him tomorrow when it's a little bit warmer. And so we're just kind of hunkering down today and doing some home crafts. I wanted to share a couple things. Most of my buffalo tooth necklaces look like this. They've got a tooth, a buffalo pendant on a drop. I've made some of them all of them are just a little different. This one was drilled super low, so I had to add an extra drop so it dangles kind of funky, but I figured somebody would probably like it. There's always one person that likes the odd thing. And I've got a couple of necklaces left to make just some other random ideas as I get through the day and they hit me. So that's kind of what I'm doing today is finishing the packing and making some crafts as I run across the ability to do so. Hi, Hardcore. How you doing? It's Hard Crew. I'm blind. It has been the worst week in Appalachia I think I've ever dealt with in the last decade. Just super cold, rolling the wood stove and trying to stay safe and warm is just like became a full-time job. I didn't appreciate it. I'm fixing to turn these two things into ornaments. These are just wood rounds that I have decoupaged a little fox and squirrel on. I'm going to make this one the first since it's got more of a central picture. We're going to turn this into an ornament, and I'm trying to find my tassels, which things that have gone missing on this table are amazing. It's like a black hole at this point. It just kind of sucks everything in. And every once in a while I miss something and I just have to walk away and then I come back and find it. I just have to walk away and be like, it's not worth getting upset about. It'll show up when it wants to show up, and then I walk away and laws have mercy. It shows up when it wants to show up. And then when I find it, I try to finish my craft and go on because otherwise it can make me mad, and I try not to do that. But let me search here for just a moment. I'm going to make another gnome here in just a minute, too. I've got one more big gnome to make, and I've got several small gnomes to make. And I may have to go and change out of this sweatshirt and put on a flannel or something that's a little less. Because I've been used to subarctic temperatures, so I'm freaking hot today. It's been rough. Like everybody in the southeast and northeast is really dealing with something that is not normal. Well, we get weird weather, so I think we're probably more prepared than most. But it's really abnormal for this area to experience this before like February, late January, early February, even into March. Sometimes we get really bad blizzards and ice storms. But this is like going back and touching back into my childhood of the weather that I experienced in my childhood with a big blizzard of like 92 or 93, whichever one it was. I was out of school for a month, forgot my locker combination, but I had ewes that were lambing, and I had one that prolapsed that I had to put back together and put a retainer in her, and she almost died on me, but she made it. So I was busy that whole time off from school. I had lambs in the kitchen and utility room that their mamas snubbed them for some reason. I had a couple of sets of twins born. I was in the barn and I had to clear my barn out, like scrape it to the dirt to get it clean, move my hay over to one side of the loft so I could run a kerosene heater in there to keep the baby lambs from freezing. So this is touching back to my childhood and the temps that I remember, and I don't enjoy them. I didn't enjoy them as a child, and I don't enjoy them now. It can stop. But sadly, it's the area I live in, and it's just what happens here. So I'm trying to cope and just remember I honestly put my clothes in the bottom of my bed last night, so when I slept, I heated up my clothes, and I got up and I could put on warm clothes. Working in a wilderness camp most of your life, or being outdoors most of your life, it does come in handy, y'all. It does. It's been hard, Chris. It's been rough. Oh dear, is anyone else seeing a bad connection? YouTube has been really janky the last few days. Do I look distorted or out of focus to anyone else? Which may just be me. After all this weather, it may just be me. We're going to warm up, and sadly, Monday, when I reschedule my doctor's appointment for blood work, it's going to be almost 60 here Monday, so spring, and then it's going to crash into the week again, and we're going to keep getting these troughs. We're just going to keep getting them. I know we are. I think it's just what is to be this year, so we're just going to deal with it and go on. That's all we can do. So I got glue gun heating up, and I'm going to do a couple of things before I jump into the heavier crafts. And the way things just take off missing in this place, you just, find everything when I'm not looking for it, and then I can't remember where it is when I'm not looking for it. So I bought a couple of these, and I've already made one. I did like a little cabin in the woods. So what I'm going to do is do this one as well. I've got one that's kind of like medieval homes. I'm sorry, I thought it was cute. I figured there'd be a Lord of a Shire person somewhere that would buy that. And then I've got one that's got just like regular little cabins in it. And I've got a couple of options, but I have just been trying to make as much stuff as possible, small stuff, so that people have options for purchase. They're not stuck to a big purchase, and I just think that's a nice thing to do, especially when there are going to be a lot of kids at an event. You don't want to put the parents on the spot. It's not nice. So I'm trying to do my best to not do that and give them some purchase options. Found my tassels. Found my tassels. We're in the gold now. Let's find these little houses right here. This is what I've been using. They're just little miniature houses from Temu. Mother Nature is schizophrenic. Forget bipolar. She's schizophrenic with audiovisual hallucinations. She's bad. It has been a rough winter, and winter isn't even here. We'll just say it like that. Also, if you haven't watched, and Mary brought this to my attention, I didn't know they did a panel last night because I slept last night. It was 47 until like 2 a.m. and then went back to 20. So I slept last night, chose to let the wood stove rest, let David check it all out and clean everything out that needed to be cleaned, and ran the radiant heater and electric blanket and just slept. I just slept. And I'm better for it, y'all. I'm much better for it. But I didn't watch any panels or do anything last night because I was literally just recouping from the last week of running a wood stove. I am not the wilderness bumpkin I once was. It's very hard on me now to do these things. So I was like, now I'm going to rest. And I literally went to bed early, and David is at work. They didn't work Monday and Tuesday due to road conditions in Kentucky, but he's at work, and we've got him rolled up in the best gear we got. They're going to work out the rest of the week. I don't understand the man for not wanting to work Monday and Tuesday, but going to put him out in this today. But thank God we're bumpkins and we keep good outdoor wearable stuff. So I guess that's a good thing. Now, what I'm going to do to raise this little house is I'm going to put a wood block in here, or a couple, but I'm going to make sure that the lid can go over it and screw on. Yeah. And so we're just going to secure this one wood block, and then we'll go out and put another one in just a minute. Because it's plastic, I normally let my glue solidify and calm down before I put another one on top. So all we're going to do is glue that wood cap in there. That's just going to elevate. I can probably do another one in just a minute. I want this little house elevated. I am going to put fake snow in there. You need a wood ring on the top that is about the same size, if not smaller. So you have to kind of watch your wood rings and make sure you're staying smaller than your lid so that you can reattach your globe. And always do a college try when you get it glued in there. So we've just put 2 wood rings in there. They're about level with the cap, maybe just a hair taller. We're going to glue our home and our trees onto this so that they're elevated in the, so people can see them. We want them in the eyesight. Hey, yeah, see, you're at Eastport. You're just down the hill. I didn't know if you're still down there or not. Yeah, it was the worst thing up here, Alicia, last night was the freaking wind. And it was just like, it just all of a sudden just went boom, here's 40 miles an hour, and it can just stay with you. Hi, Gypsy. And so if y'all are seeing Alicia in the chat, she's actually local. And she's known me since grade school. And the worst thing up here was the wind. There's no shelter from the wind. And if you're on a bald like we are, you just take the brunt of the wind. And oh my gosh, the wind was horrible last night. And I was like, just don't let the electricity go out because I don't want to start the stove. That's my prayer. And I just stayed asleep. I just slept. I live with David. He cuts everything. Nothing's going to fall. And the one tree we was worried about fell this spring in one of the tornadoes. So we're good. Oh yeah, my porch got it got like I've got one chair that was at the very end. It got pushed about 6 foot, and they're heavy chairs with the wheelbases that rock and swivel. And I came out and I looked at my porch this morning when I let the dog out, and I went, no. I just shut the door and went back in the house. I was like, no. When we were kids, this was kind of normal and fun, which is what I've been telling everybody. This is kind of normal behavior for the weather here when we were kids. It's not normal now. And I don't think people understand that. It's not normal now. It's changed. And for it to change back, I'm going, what's going on there? What's going on there? I figured it was going to go out somewhere in the county. It didn't get up to here, though. We stayed on, thank God. And I was just like, good Lord. But it's hard to imagine, like, it's been a rough week to be me because I don't like to have my furnace run. So I've been rolled that wood stove. And I am not who I once was. I don't have the ability to do all this crap anymore. Look at my wood pile right there. I don't have the ability to stay up for days on end running a wood stove and deal with everything else. My body just craps out on me. Oh, glitter from these stupid trees. If Sabrina watches this, I have glitter herpes in my house, and you haven't been here, so it's very strange. But this was normal. Like when we were in grade school and high school, this is kind of normal behavior for the weather. And it's just like, it's not normal anymore. It can stop. It had changed over the last decade. And now we're going back to this weather. And I'm like, why are we going back to this weather now? What happened and why had it changed? And why is it changing back? Government? Anyone? Anyone care to answer that? Oh, Lord. And if you haven't watched, if you want to see that violent nature of most of the people in America that don't understand American politics or the premise and the rules and regulations in which it's based on in the Constitution. Watch all these liberal women that are on TikTok saying they're never going to get married, never going to have children. Thank you for selectively taking yourself out of the gene pool. I appreciate it. But they're saying that they're now talking about, and this is what I've seen with my own eyes. They're talking about a lady from back in the Middle Ages time that used to give some janky liquid to men in order to not have to deal with them anymore. And they're talking about using that same thing she used, which she made very famous during that time, and putting it in public water systems to get rid of the men. Well, all I have to say for these women that are wanting to get rid of all these men, it's women that birth the men, and if you get rid of half the men, you're going to have all the women coming after you. Is that really a smart idea? I mean, I can't, the things that I'm seeing go on in my own nation right now, and I'm just sitting there going, well, she's an idiot, and I've basically figured out that like 90% of America is basically idiots. Everybody keeps sending me links saying, oh, what you said is true. Hey, if I say it on here, it's true. Or I have knowledge, or I have lived through something that has taught me it's true. So like the day or day after Helene hit, and I was really sick and had fallen, I did all those lives to talk about helping and what was going on and the real story. Oh, fake snow. Yeah. Everybody was like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know. And now everybody's come back on, oh my God, they're doing panels and they're doing lives and they're talking about the water and the weather and the soil and toxicity. And I'm like, yeah, told you. Everybody, the truth is normally about a day late and a dollar short, just to be quite honest. It always is. So I just kind of gotten used to it. But it doesn't mean I'm not going to say the truth. I'm going to say it anyway. I got a big mouth. I don't care. I'm putting fake snow in the bauble now, just in case anybody wants to know. Trying to get it at the right level to kind of cover that wood round and kind of but be up to touch the cabin, just so it doesn't look so bad. I really had fun with these ornaments. I really have in the rounds, the circles. I really liked them. Still too much. I'm letting my hot glue gun get super hot before I do this ornament because I want it solidified together. I do use the Gorilla Glue hot glue. And on some of them, I put some E6000 in them just to help. But it's amazing because it's going to be high of 29 or 30 today, which is already there. 33 tomorrow. Then Friday jumps to 45 or 46 and then up to 52. And they're going to have Grinchmas in Cookeville this weekend, Alicia. If you don't know about that, you might want to check that out at the Putnam County Fairgrounds. Where's my scissors? I know David hasn't stolen them because they're the ones, if he steals them, I will beat him. Just jump. But it's going to be, you know, like pushing 60 at Grinchmas after I've froze all week and tried to keep my furnace from running and been up with a wood stove all night. And it's just, it's amazing. It's amazing. So now we've got the little cabin in the tree. That snow will fall down and calm down later. I'm going to cut a ribbon to go on top with my, these are stainless from Pakistan, but they're kind of a spawn off of the, I call them ginger scissors, but they're the German scissors. And you don't want them to drop off the table and hit your foot. No. So you want to be very careful there. Oh, I need to make a hoop too. Hang on. I got gold for the hoop. I have one that's already open though. There it is. Oh, this one. I currently have 3. But this has been like the weirdest week in a long time. The weirdest week in a long time. And it harkens back to my childhood, but I still didn't ask for it, don't want it. Kind of there with the winter weather. I'm like, I didn't ask for it, don't want to. I think this is the first December in a long time that we've seen these temperatures. I know I drove for 8 years for the state and might have seen, we had that big ice storm, but I might have seen 3 really big weather systems. We've already had 2 this year. So whoever's got the remote control, you could stop. We understand you're a deviant. You can put it down and walk away. We're over it. I feel bad because I know if I'm cold in my home running a wood stove, 9 or nothing, I know that people in Helene ravaged areas are struggling. And David, that's one thing he told himself this morning as he got ready for work. He said, I can't fuss because there are people dealing with far worse. And that's a good way to look at it. But still, I hated to see him go out into the crap to work. But, you know, it has to be done. And the younger boys certainly don't know how to put money up. They need to work. So he's trying to keep the crew going. But he said today is going to be mostly about breaks and keeping their core warm. And thank God that we've been outdoorsmen most of our lives and he knows how to dress and take care of himself. But it's just been the weirdest week. The weirdest week. You're up to 6 now? I'm up to 3. Haley had twins. Is she? Oh my gosh, you tell her congratulations. Now, on my better days when I'm doing good, I still take some pictures. So if she ever wants some pictures, just tell her to yell at me. I did Jess's engagement photos last month. That was fun. I hadn't done any in a long time, and I hated to miss her mile markers in life, so I did her engagement photos. So I still do a few things. I'm just a little slower than I am normally. But if I'm doing good, we'll schedule pictures and do pictures. If it's something I can do. If she wants something I can't do. I can, I know several photographers that are doing great work. So if she wants something I can't do, I can certainly send you in the right direction. One's an up and comer, and he's doing awesome work. I'm actually really interested in watching him grow. Now, where's my scissors again? I just don't get out a lot. I wasn't about to go out in this wind today. I was like, nope. Nope. Being in a shelter when it's 50 or 55 is one thing. Being outside where the wind's blowing and it's 20 is another. I was like, no, I'd put me in a flare, and nope. Then I won't be walking, and then I won't be able to enjoy the weekend. And I thought, no, it's not worth it. Ain't gonna happen. Unfortunately, Haley she lives in Georgia, way down yonder in the Paw Patch. So we don't get to see them. I do video calls, and they know my voice, and they know who I am, but we don't get to see them very often at all. And but she had twins. Little boy, little girl. There, and there's that one. A little cabin with a tree in the snow with a little velvet bow and a gold hanger. These are cute. You can make these for anybody. If I had had more bones, I know. I say that often. If I had more bones, I would have probably done just a bone one and just made it a normal bone thing, something or another. But I did not have any more bones left. Okay, now let's make an ornament. So I'm going to use this one because it's centered. I'm going to put it face down, and then I'm going to make a cookie. I'm going to put it face down, put the hanger out one end, the tassel out the other, and then I'm going to push them together to make the ornament. So I'm going to watch where I'm putting this, make sure I know it's up top. Oh my goodness. There we go. That up top, up top. Then you're going to cut your hanger and lay it on the inside. I'm using this gold rope again. Everybody hang on, we'll do a gnome in just a minute. I've got to get this other crap out of my way. Got one more giant gnome to do. I'm gnomed out. I swear, I've only made 5 or 6 this year, and I'm already gnomed out. And I don't mind making them. I made too many of them the other year, and it kind of ruined me on them. Don't put your finger in the hot glue. If you're doing the drinking game, hydrate. I just burnt myself twice. Do it twice. Not responsible for behavior after you hydrate. Okay, got that in the glue there. Pushing it down. I should have had my finger protectors. Do as I say, not as I do. Okay, then you're going to get one of your tassels. I got these on Temu. They were like $1.10 for all of them. If I had used the embroidery floss to make these, holy crap, I'd have been out a whole bunch. So I bought these. I think they're cute. They're just little, but they add a flair. Makes I love that thing there. And I just glue the string up in the ornament before I pancake them together, before I cookie them together. I think these are so cute. So I'm just going to lay that down with the knot on the bottom up against the edge of the wood. I'm going to kind of hang on to it, and I'm going to lay some glue over it. And then I'm going to go around about 1/4 inch inside to add the glue. I'm going to get my back. My glue is steaming. My house is so cold. And I don't think it's cold, but I've been living in Canada, so I'm sure it probably still is. And I'm going to squish the back on it. And then if you have clips, this is a great way to use them. If you don't, just pinch it until it dries. Focus on the top around your holder. And, well, your little cattywampus, but you'll work. Oh, there you go. You're just going to have a little cookie ornament. This has just got wilderness on it. Some of mine have barns and pickup trucks and deer. I've made about 6 of these. I've made 12 of the circles, and I made 12 of the Arctic fox reindeer, and I only made 2 of the snow globes. And then I made 11 of these snowmen styrofoam heads with socks. Oh my gosh. Hi, Simple Girl. How you doing? We need a boy. I have one. He's a sweetie, though. He's going to be a Ferdinand the Bull, I'm afraid. He's going to be a sweetie pie. Okay, there we have it. This is the fox squirrel and the fox. This is a wilderness themed one. I'm going to put a bow up here. But it's really simple. The preparation time is what gets you, because you have to Mod Podge. You have to wait for it to dry, and it's several steps, so it takes up your home. My kitchen is a disaster area. Honestly, after last week, the rest of the house is not far behind it, but my kitchen in this corner has been a nesting craft corner for about a month now, and I'm over it. And I'm so glad to get Grinchmas here and get stuff gone and claim my kitchen back and put up my plant stand and move my plants away from the window and get them under the lights for the winter season. And I'm just like, can we have a week where I don't have to have the wood stove on every night? Because I don't rest well. I love wood stoves. Wood heat's great, but you have to be very aware and careful and know what you're dealing with. And so I stay very alert when I have a wood stove going, and I don't rest that great. So I really like the days where I can flip on the radiator heater and have a nice night's sleep and not have to chase that stupid wood stove. Very hard on my body to be up like that since I got this stupid neuromuscular disorder. I'm just not the freaking Amazon I once was. Alicia knew me when I was in high school as a freaking Amazon, wasn't I, Alicia? Lifted weights with the football players. I had to have writing from a doctor to be able to do that, and my parents and the school. But I was quite the hoss, and I am not anymore. I am such a domesticated little dingbat now. It's kind of sad. Oh, I sent Sabrina a gift. It showed delivered yesterday, so I hope she picked it up. Anybody keeping up on the Sabrina train? Sabrina Dawn. Okay, I've just made a little velvet ribbon, and I'm going to, it really is actually more symmetrical than that. Hang on. I'm just going to glue it onto the top. This velvet sticks so great to your hot glue. It stays. Oh, smack yourself face. You don't have to worry about it being there. Next year, it's going to be there. And I'm having a lot of fun with the velvet this year. I don't know if it's my old woman coming out of me. I don't know. But I like the velvet this year. Not back then. Nothing slowed me down back then. Now I'm like, well, I was on crutches until June of this year. I was on those, like, I call them polio crutches. I don't know what they call them. I was on polio crutches this year. My thyroid had a bobble. It's doing much better. Blood work is improving, guys. It's doing much better. But my thyroid had a bobble, and I got really weak. And I'm still waiting to see if I get to keep my thyroid or not. It's still up in the air. But I got really weak and had to use a roll cart or crutches. And I used those polio crutches just to take some of the brunt off of my legs when I was walking stuff. And it's been a rough year. It's been a weird year. It's been a very weird year. So yeah, now I'm at the age where everything slows me down. I like asymmetrical bows, so if you see this and you don't like it, sorry. But I can't stand for bows to be the same length on both sides. I don't know why, if it's like I was born with a gene at birth or what, but I just can't stand it. So never do I make a bow with two of the same size legs on it, ever. And if they move or fly away, I'm even happier about that. But isn't that cute? I only put a bow on one side because my philosophy is that you get tangled in the tree if you turn it around. So I leave one side slick so it lays against the tree, right? And as I make everything, it goes down here. I have one more buffalo tooth. I think I do have some raccoon baculums. If y'all know the word, I ain't saying it on YouTube. I'll get demonetized. I do have some raccoon baculums, but I have to drill those. And to drill bone, I go outside. And it's freaking cold, so I don't think I'm going to make any. I may just lot them up and sell them. Well, they're David's. I'll sell them for him. But that's kind of where I'm at. I have a lot of necklaces and jewelry and pretties to put on stuff. So I'm doing good in that regard. But I made those buffalo necklaces yesterday. And I did it while I was waiting on my nurse, or I would have gone live. But I did it while I was waiting on my nurse. And so I didn't go live. Okay, now let's move on. And I think it's about time that we make a gnome that has like a cardinal or something on his head. We're in the middle of winter. We should maybe give him this little Tellus bird. He can kind of get stuck in his beard or something. We'll see what we can come up with. And I never know what I'm going to make. I stick it up here on this platform. He's got snow all over him. And we'll see what it turns into. Let me find it. Here it is. This is my last big one. So here we go. My last big one. And actually, let's make a Christmas one because I have Christmas fabric for hats. Let's see if it's big enough. I don't know. These are actually dog bandanas, but sometimes you can get them big enough for hats. We'll see. We may have to wait and do it on a smaller one, but we'll see if it fits. I actually kind of think it's, and you just tie them on like a biker do. You just tie them on, and you can make them stick up, or you can make them fall down, or you can glue them to where they stick straight up. It doesn't matter. I like that though. I don't know if I like it as much as the gingham. I don't know. Anybody? Hey, Margaret. Anybody got an idea? Should I do the brown gingham, or should we jump into a Christmas or black? I think the gingham with the bird would be Christmassy, but not like wintry, but not Christmas, so they could use it a lot. I don't know. What do you think? I like the gingham. It's kind of my favorite. I'm a gingham person. I do like it. I'm going to cut it just in case because I know I'm going to use it. Everybody counted all their fingers and toes from this cold weather and made sure they're all okay and checked in on everybody. And it has definitely been a week. Okay, I cut me a square to make a hat. Y'all know this is not rocket science. We just do it how we want to do it. I'm going to glue a faux edge, and then put it inside out or right side out. Right on my leg. It's going to burn my leg. I know that, but I'm going to do it anyway. That's how I roll. And I'm using Gorilla Glue, so press it into the fabric. It will not come undone. Let me tell you, it's much better than getting my sewing machine out for these things. Because, God, I don't have a big enough house or kitchen table for any of that. So I'm just putting a faux edge on this with a glue gun, and pressing the fabric together to get the seam. So I just ran glue, and now I'm smashing it to make the seam. I'm leaving a split at the bottom so I can turn it up under when I glue him. And he'll have a hem over his nose and beard. Now I'm going to turn it right side out. That is a good seam. Look at that. And now I'm going to turn it right side out. And I'll glue that together when I get done. I'll probably put a rope around it and fray it. And then I've got this I can tuck in and do a faux hem for him to have a straight edge over his face, over his nose, not his face. That wind sounded like a cow grunting right then. That was hilarious. The wind has just vocalized all night. It has made so much noise. I don't think I've ever heard wind groan as bad in my life as I heard it last night. And I've heard a lot of wild winter weather, but it groaned last night. And that was just weird. And y'all know I'm still on this Helene Aftermath thing. If you've not watched Bear Independent, and Mary dropped by to make sure I saw it, Bear Independent did a panel last night with a bunch of other YouTubers where they'd done the private soil and water test. Y'all, what they're finding is not good. It's not good. Okay, there's his hat if we want it. They're finding, and it's above the water table. It's got to be from this runoff from the storm. It is so not good what they're finding, and I can't get people to pay attention. And y'all know I talked about this a day or two after the event, and everybody was like, "Oh, you're lying. You don't know." And I'm like, "Honey, I'm Podunk. I know a lot that y'all don't know." I mean, when you grow up in a place like this, you just are very attuned with nature. And since I've got another local with me, Alicia can vouch for that, you just grow up very attuned to nature. And you just know things. Probably things people don't want you to know, but you just know things. You recognize animal movement, behavior, ecological issues, runoff, water table, sea level changes. You watch a lot, and you start to build quite the little back history. Margaret, I'm glad you're here. I missed you. When I'm sitting here taking care of the stove and not able to do my lives and craft a lot, I'm sitting here going, I hope everybody waits for me. I'll be back as soon as I can function. But you pay attention to nature and the things around you and how they function and what makes them not function. And then you start to pay attention when they don't function, because if they're not functioning, you know that you're next. And y'all, this weather pattern is going to hold for much of early and late December and probably for most of the winter. And we're looking at probably thousands of people displaced and in transitional or homes or tents and or you know, and it's just like it's just strange how this is working. It's just strange how this is working out. It's just strange. I don't know what all I can say without getting demonetized, but I just find it very strange and I don't like it at all. Now, where did I put my fur? Y'all have heard me say some of the funniest things. Where did I put my fur? I had it yesterday. I had a bunch of it yesterday. Where to put it? I thought I had it here. It's here somewhere. I'm not taking any of the large wood stuff. I've not even made them. I've left them there because I've just been focusing on smaller items because there's going to be a lot of kids there. And we want the kids to be able to find something that they can purchase so that their parents can purchase without a hardship. Because I don't want to create a hardship for any parent trying to keep their kid happy. Now, did I put up my fur? I've got a big zipper bag over here. Give me just a second. Yeah, I did. I put up my fur. Like a good person, I'll put it up. But I need it. Too soon. Okay. Okie dokie, here we go. I'm back. Okay, I use these old sables and stuff to make beards. Y'all know this. And I've cut one in half already. Y'all, I've cut. And I'm thinking about using this beard on him. Kind of matches the tan. And if I do that, I can go all the way around him and give him a full head of hair. Tempting. If I do this, where will it go to? Y'all, these old stoles and stuff, the fur is still great on them. Don't let them ruin. Get them out and use them. If you see them in a vintage store, get them out, buy them, use them. The crafts, the fur is still great. You may have some pull-offs like that at the end when you break a seam, but otherwise, they're in perfect condition. And as long as you tack the ends with glue or something, they're going to be fine. And you just got to worry about the live ends when you cut them like this. And just put some glue on them and fold them over and they'll hold. I just put them back in my bag. Let's see here. It's funny how many people I see that are like, they act like they're scared of working with fur. And I'm like, it's the easiest thing in the world to work with. It's just like hair. So easy. So easy. It's that Queen song. It's so easy. Okay, we started the bottom run. We've almost got him. Hang on. All I'm doing is wrapping. Let me turn it this way for a minute. All I'm doing is wrapping this around this log right now, making this little guy's beard. I've got my windows pulled so my plants can see the light. And this is all we're going to do to finish up his beard. Oh, God. That's all we're going to do. No, you may not faint. Not yet. We're working here. Thank you. You stay right there. And I literally just pour the glue to it. You see my hot glue gun steaming in this house? And I swear it's warm in here. I wouldn't be sitting in here if it wasn't warm in here. I'd be sitting at the stove. Oh, my nose. Now I'm going to have fox fur up my nose. I'll give you a hint. If you get fur on the end of your glue gun, pull it off. Because it will smoke. I have smoked at my house before being lazy and not pulling the fur off. And it just starts to smoke. Pull it off. I don't know if it would catch fire or not, but I don't want to find out. And I'm just gluing this around now. That's all I'm doing. I'm just gluing this around. It's got a great back on it. I'm going to double this over right here and pull it in just to stop the end from pulling out in the hair, the fur. Oh, burnt myself again if you're playing the game. Hydrate. I'm going to lean that back a little bit so it goes around this face better. And I'm just going to keep putting a ton of glue on this thing so it stays put. I've got every loose hair from this thing on my hand right now. And I kind of want to push it down and make these two kind of blend together, which when you fluff them, you can't tell when one starts and the other stops. So that's great. I think I hear the ups man. We'll see. Gluing back to here. Okay, now he is wrapped all the way up. He's full beard, full head of hair in the back, so we can really play with his hat and give him a little bit more personality, which is great. Fur. Now I want to figure out where I want to put his nose. And I normally pull it apart and give it like a mustache placement, so he's going to have some above it. And then I pull the hair around the wood bead. And I sometimes do this to make it tack to it, just for security for that wood bead to stay there. And then I pull this down because I'm going to tuck the hat back there and pull that hair up over that hat. Okay. Let's get his hat on a little bit. It's a good thing I ain't cooking today. I made sticky rice, chicken, broccoli casserole crap yesterday. I do like to cook, but not when it's freaking butthole below. And but I got plenty left over for today, so we'll have to probably make a little something later for David to make for lunch tomorrow. That's about it. I'm gluing that hat down to match this other side that's staying down naturally over here. I'm going to tack it though. And then I'm going to put an edge around the bottom of his face here, right above his face. I'm going to put a little edge, just a little bit of glue around the edge of the hat and pull that fur up over it. So we've got it fixed to the fur and to the wood. And there he is. There's his front face. I'll work on the back and what's going on back here. Fur. I'm going to pull this on down here and glue it down. And y'all, if you get the seam too tight, you can pop that and pull it down. Oh, I'm eating hot glue like it's nobody's business today, but that's okay. Has anybody else made any crafts for Christmas? Give me different ideas so I can make something new. I need a new craft. I need a new craft. I can't do the under pressure song. Did you not like the story of the baby? Well, at least she was present for a moment. Okay, we've got him fixed. I'm going to do some fine tuning down here with his hat. Just because I want it attached really good to something. Pinching the fur and the hat together where I have it put it on the wood just to give him an extra grounding point. Okay. That's pretty good. I like that. Now I think I'm just going to tie his hat and let it kind of fall over naturally and put divots in it. Let's see if I can. I don't really want to. Well, I guess I can. I was going to say I don't really want to use velvet, but I guess I can. It may be the best thing to use. Okay. Let's do this and see what it looks like. I'm trying to keep my edges even. So I tie a bow. It will look like a bow. Okay, there's his bow. Now I'm going to make his hat have fringe instead of this. And I may cut some of the fringe off. I will absolutely cut off where I've got the glue because it's thick. Pull apart. Thank you. That way he'll have a couple of days to kind of fray. And with getting packed and shoved around, I'm sure he will. Now these scissors ain't no joke, so be careful if you use these. They'll take your finger right off. They'll cut through fur, pelts like butter. Excuse me. Thank you. But boy, you have to be very careful. And after I do this, I'm going to rest because I've got to give Oscar a salon day later. So he's getting picked up by Pa tomorrow for weekend at Nana and Pa's while we're at Grinch Fest. And I just hope that I have gotten enough rest this week to where I'm not going to be miserable at Grinch Fest and not feel well. So I'm just hoping. Okay, I like this. I'm going to glue that to where his hat stays kind of over this way. I'm going to give it a bump, but I'm going to glue it to where it stays over this way. Okay, you stay there, you stay there. My glue gun fainted. Okay, I like that. Let's see if I really like that. I really like this. He's very cute. Look at him. He's very cute. I really honestly think he needs some moss and a little bird up here somewhere. I just really think he does. And of course, y'all know I love to use moss. Moss is like my second favorite thing to use. I bumped the camera. I apologize. I love to use moss. And I have a little holly doohickey right here. I guess it could go in. That's wintry, but not Christmassy, right? No, you have to stay up there somewhere. Hang on. Maybe we should moss and a bird. Okay, we have a red bird and we have a white bird somewhere. Hang on, I saw it. I saw it. I did. It's on this table somewhere because I moved it with my hands. Unless it fell. No, it hasn't. I have a red bird and I have a white bird. Which one do you think will look better? I'll show you since I find it. If I find it. There he is. There he is. He's got a long tail. He could even sit over here. I don't know. Maybe the red bird is the best one. I guess the red bird suits him more. Pop his hat back up. I do like that. That's cute. He just needs some moss or something to sit on there. He just needs something to sit on. Man bun bird's nest. Hey, I'm just, I've created trends in the past. Maybe that's what I'm doing now. And I'm going to use this really green moss because it is actually dried real moss. Be very particular where I put my glue because it's going to hold the moss. Why is my glue gun not going? Oh, I'm going to have to stop and do glue gun repairs. Don't even tell me that. Okay, drop the rest of it. My glue is stuck. There it goes. Okay. There we go. Now you get up here, buddy. You stay right there. Oh, he's cute. Look. He's cute. Ignore my window that I've moved for my flowers to get sun. Curtains. That is cute. He's got a little red bird in his hair. That's cute. I'm happy with that. Filling underneath. I'm going to flip him and glue the bottom of this fur down around the bottom of his trunk. Got a couple places where it's puckered and didn't get all the glue firsthand. So we're going to do a second run. We're going to fill in those spots. We want this fur to stay here. We want it to have enough of a stick that is there for a long time. I don't want it to pull apart on people. There we go. cute, and he's done. I'm going to glue this bird's little butt one more time. So he's a rocking and a rolling up here. Okay, let's see. This is the hard stuff, is when I have to glue stuff together and reconfigure crap, and that's better. Okay, now that bird is sitting there pretty and he ain't going to move. That's cute. That is so cute. I'm tickled with him. He's cute. I don't know if you can see him against the bright curtains. He's cute. And the more raggedy his hat gets over the next couple days, the cuter it will become. And I just think he's adorable. And that's made from maybe a third of an old stole, a piece of wood, and some fabric. Hi, Carmel. How you doing? Yeah, he is kind, isn't he? I like his hat like that, though. I think he's cute. Okay, I like him. I really do like him. I'm tickled with him. I'm going to get a sticker for him. I'm going to get a sticker and go ahead and put it on him. And David can price him when he comes home. Okay, put him there. Now while I'm hairy, we might as well go on with the rest of the gnomes because I'm already dealing with their fur. Now these are going to be taller gnomes. So watch me drop it and kill myself in the kitchen. Watch this. This is a beaver chewed. So I can leave a natural edge on this, or I can change it out. Normally I like to leave a natural edge on the beaver chewed because then it lets the beaver do half the work for me. Not that I'm lazy, but hey, why not? Why not let it? Just let it. Let it do the work. So I'm taking the fur now and I'm putting it in various spots. It looks like if I leave it, this is what he will look like. If I leave it beaver chewed, this is what he will look like. And so this is what a beaver did. This is actually where a beaver chewed this log. My husband traps, he picks them up. So this will be his hat. And then all of this, I'll cut off. I'll cut off the excess right there. And that will be my new gnome. And I don't like to put a lot of personalities on these gnomes because the people that buy them like to do that. They like to take it home and embellish it. And that's fine. I don't mind. So I do literally just make them look rustic and neutral. And the people that buy them kind of do everything else. Now I cut that first, so I've got a live edge. So we're going to take our glue and go over that live edge and stop the hair from moving. Don't do it at the end of your glue stick because then you'll have to do what I'm doing. Put your finger down your glue stick and make the glue come out. That's pathetic, isn't it? I've had this glue gun forever. I've got new ones, but I'm so used to it now. It's hard to change. It is so cold in here. My glue gun is steaming. And then we're going to turn some of that fur back and close that live edge so the rest of the fur does not come off as we're working with it because we do not want that to occur. Then we're going to recenter this and put it back on. And I'm going to fold this end up to match the other end so that the beard matches on either side. Not that it would matter. I don't think anybody would probably really care about it, but I do. I do. And that just kind of makes it more symmetrical in the back. Make sure you keep the hat part that you want forward. I'm focused on trying to find the best spot possible. Here we go. There we go. See right there. That works. Okay, I'm putting some glue onto my beaver chew stick now. I do use the Gorilla Glue, so it stays there. It's not going to go anywhere. Once I get it there, it's there. Cannot say enough awesome things about this glue. I can't. And then we're going to go and put it on the fabric to push up against him the other way around. And you may have to extra secure him at the edges where the corners are. That's fine. Not a big deal. Okay. Push it up in there. Glue gun, stay. Okay. So here he is at first glance. Here he is at first glance. Perfectly round little beard. Looks very cute. Very symmetrical. Gonna give him a button nose. I'm gonna eat all her fur. Oh, Lord. Here's his nose. May have to go get more fabric for my gnomes later. I'm looking at the line of his beard. I want to put this button kind of in line with the longest point of his beard. So I'm going to put quite a bit of glue up because I want the fur to come around the wood button and hold it and secure it so that nose stays back there up against that wood. There's his nose on. And now it's time to see if we want to do any embellishments. I'm going to definitely go through here and fluff up the beard and put it to the chew. Hold it up. I'm going to hold it till it dries. I'm going to pull some of the hair up against the beaver chew stick so that we don't have much of a, can't really see what's going on up there, you know. Keep his nose out, but push all the other up just to cover up that salvage edge there. And I think I want to put something over here on his side. I think maybe a pine cone. I don't know, that may be too big. I've got a pine cone, a piece of burlap here that I peeled off a pick. I don't throw anything away. I do when I get done with it, but if I'm taking things apart, I try to keep what I find on them. And this has got a piece of wire, so I can actually put it down in the beard if I can find a spot. And we can do a curly Q. Curly Q there, and we put the pine cone in there with him. Which I think the pine cone will look cute on him, but I have to hold this down until it dries. I do a lot of holding the glue, you know. You think you're important until you realize you're just a glue holder. You're just a glue holder. That's all, you're just a glue holder. I do like that. I like that. We're going to put a pine cone up here with him now. I don't think I need the pine cone. I have smaller pine cones. Where did I put them? Maybe this holly stitch would be more appropriate there. Yeah, I like that. Okay, let's do this. Get him stuck there too. Get him down in that glue. Get him stuck. I like these. Got a little embellishment, but not a lot. Got some personality, but not too much for nobody to undo it or change it if they want to. I like that. That was a really quick one. Boy, I'm glad it was quick too. Put a sticker on him. If y'all were asking, say, well, Liz, what do you do when we're not watching you craft? I listen to Chris Ledoux while I craft. That's all I do. I listen to Chris Ledoux. If y'all are not here with me, I'm listening to Chris Ledoux and crafting. That's all I'm doing. So I'm not doing like super mondo important things. I'm just listening to Chris Ledoux. Which in itself I think is super mondo important, but you know, I'm just me. I do like this pine cone, but I think it's too big for what I'm working on right now. And let's see, I have some of these left out. I'm trying, if you haven't figured out what I'm doing, I'm trying to clear my table as I craft. Because I'm so over this table being like this. I got glue on, that's why I didn't use it. I got glue all over this one. It's like, why did I lay that out? I just got glue on it. And I've been wondering if I could turn these into snowman heads somehow. Oh, gosh, they're stuck together. Oh, there we go. And I honestly, I don't know if it's a possibility. That one's broke, so let's see if it'll fit on this other one. One of them. There's two sides, and you have to have one of each, I have learned, to make it work. And be a butthole sometimes, trying to figure out which one you've got. Stay. Okey-dokey. Let's try two more. Okay. Great, they were stuck together so well. There's another one in the floor. Let's try it. That's a broken one. Okay, these two go together. See, it's not always an immediate thing to figure this stuff out. Okay, I still have trees. Still have one of the pretty trees left. There goes my heater then, maybe. And when I work, I throw my trash on the floor and I sweep it up when I get done because I'm too busy to worry about it. I'm good, Karma. How you doing? Just trying to get some crafts done this morning. Leaving a YouTube because I've not been able to stream much because of the weather here. So trying to leave a YouTube for my subs so they can find it when they come back. Oh, that's too tall. So I'm working on putting these little trees in here now, which can be quite the test of anger management. Just gonna be honest, it can get to you some days. And so we're going to put a little dollop of glue down here, and we're going to put one of the old vases from one of the other trees on it. We're going to set our little house on there in a minute. And then we're going to start putting trees around it. I always take the bottoms off of these trees. Also, if you have bought the really pretty bottle brush trees and they come in squished, run your sink full of warm water and dip them in the warm water and then squeeze them out. Get them all going the same way, and they'll bounce right back. And the water does not ruin them. It might knock a little bit of glitter off, but is that really a bad thing? Come on, it's glitter. Glitter tends to take over. Now then, we're going to look for something to put on this. And I'm thinking about one of those little homes or one of these little medieval things. I like these little medieval things. I think somebody else will too. I think it's cute. It's a little thatched roof. I think it's cute, so we're going to run with it. We're going to put it, glue it on this riser here that I've put in here. Put it toward the front, put its windows toward the front so people do see it. And then I'm going to put some glue on it and glue the tree to it. And I'm going to try to fit one more tree in here. I don't know, maybe that's enough. That might be enough in there. So we've got a little medieval house and a tree in there. Now, when I close these, I use a super glue like Loctite or Gorilla Glue just to make sure that they stay closed. Because we don't want them going everywhere, obviously. So I have a super glue right here somewhere. I've got glue strings everywhere on me. It's pathetic. And I've got fur up my nose for making nose. Well, I said I've got one right here I can use. Okay, put this together so I can use it. I'm using a super glue to pinch the two sides together when I get ready to put them together. And what I do normally is put the snow on one side and the stuff in the other, and then I put them together. And after I've got them together, that's when I put them up together and glue them together. So I'm constantly trying to find better ways to do this. If you have come up with one, please let me know. I would love to give you credit for it and use what you have acquired knowledge-wise to make my crafting easier, especially during the winter months. Fake snow is not my favorite thing to have all over my floor. Just pain in the butt. It's pretty, but it's pain in the butt. And you want to make sure you put enough to cover that wooden thing at the bottom, but not too much to cover up the whole house. And it will settle a little bit, so you have a little bit of time to work there. So I'm just going to go around and barely put any on the edge of this because I want it to stay shut when I shut it. So I'm just going to barely put any in a couple spots. It won't go down that far by the time I get the top on it. And then I'm going to run my hand around to seal the outsides, and you want to wash your hands really good. Then you're going to shake your snow down, and there we have the little medieval house in the snow. And then I've got a ribbon spool, and I just sit this up here like this to dry. Oh, make it sure it stays closed, though. I didn't have it all the way closed. There we go. Stay closed, you little turd. Okay, leave it there to dry. So we've made 2 gnomes, 3 or 4 ornaments, and done pretty good. So I'm still thinking of ways to use my raccoon jaws that I have left. I've got some other stuff I'm working on. I think that's going to be it for this morning's craft fest. So I wanted to come on and do a live while I was able, while the snow had stopped, even though it's just 29 degrees here now. I wanted to do a quick live to leave y'all something to watch. Let you know I'm not forgot about you. I am crafting, but I'm doing it at odd times because of the wood stove that I'm keeping going and the weather. Not that I don't want to be here with you. It's just with the weather and all I'm doing, it's just impossible right now. So here's a video to watch. Go check out Bear Independent and the panel they did last night, which would have been Wednesday night, for the soil readings and the water readings of the North Carolina area. They've been taking independent samples. It's amazing. Pay attention. Try to get 3 or 4 different facets of the story before you make your mind up about it, and listen to the survivors that are there, not just the people that have a government badge on. Listen to the survivors and what they're going through to get the real tail end of the story. So that's kind of all I wanted to share with you. And now we've made some bigger gnomes. We made a smaller gnome. We've made some ornaments of different types. You saw the necklaces I put together. I will try my best Saturday to do filming or to do a live, depending on my internet connection, and to let you all see the area that we're going to be visiting for Grinchmas. It's in Putnam County, Tennessee, at the Putnam County Fairgrounds, and they do this every December. It's Grinchmas, and it's a huge craft vendors and food vendors and entertainment vendors come together and make a winter wonderland in the middle of Putnam County Fairgrounds, and it's really nice. It's a really great family event. So we always like to go to it. It's a little bit one of the more expensive fairs to go to, but David loves it. And so if my health holds, I will be there with him Saturday and Sunday. And I'm just going to, since he purchases everything for me to make, I just kind of give it back to him and say, if you can recoup, that's fine. Just keep buying me craft stuff, because this is what keeps me sane, especially when I'm hemmed up in the winter with the weather we've been having. I don't like it. So it's only going to get worse, I'm afraid. Y'all take care of yourself. Craft, leave me tips, tricks, or comments down below. Do something to make you smile today. And even though the weather's horrible and life may be rough, y'all, we've got it so much better than thousands of our neighbors in North Carolina and Eastern Tennessee. Please keep them in your prayers and continue to fight for the truth and share it with others as you find it. And don't forget, they're still needing more meals, so the money is still an issue. Churches still need to be able to supply those warm meals. Make sure you're still donating if possible. And keep that train rolling so we could take care of our neighbors, because if it were us, I guarantee you they would do the same thing. So y'all have a great day. Tell somebody today you love them, and I'll see you the next time I get a break from the wood stove. Bye, guys. Should we glue myself to my phone?